Hey everybody, welcome to Pineapple Knits, a knitting and spinning videocast. I'm Marina, and you can find me everywhere on the web at Pineapple Yarn, especially Instagram where I'm most active. And you can visit my hand-dyed yarn and fiber company, and now candles too, at pineappleyarn.com. Thanks so much for joining me again this week, and happy 2020! This is the first podcast I've recorded in 2020, and let me tell you, I'm so happy to be starting a new year and a new decade because it's going to be the best one yet. I can just feel it. So how was your holiday? It was great here. It was just really low key, and that's the way I like it. I feel like holidays are so stressful anyway. There's so many moving pieces and trying to make everyone happy, and you never do, and that's just the way it is. But no, it was really great. It was really low key, and I can't complain, except we did get sick. I say we, my family got sick. I am still holding off, but soon after Christmas, it just happened. So luckily it's nothing serious. It's just colds, I think, hopefully, and everyone's, the first people who were sick are on the mend, but it's just lingering. It drives me crazy because there's so many people in my family. I have 5 children, and there's so many people in our family that I'm just hoping it doesn't cycle through a second time. Do you know what I mean? But that's kind of what we're dealing with, and I suppose if you're going to get sick, it's this time of year is great because you're just coming out of the holidays, and at least for me, everything's still pretty low key. You're not in the swing of things anyway yet, so that's kind of what I've been doing, is taking care of sick children, and I am the lone person out of my family at this point who has not been sick, so fingers crossed that I won't get sick. And on that note, I have been drinking a ton of this tea that I always make if I'm trying not to get sick or I'm trying to boost my immune system. It's basically, I take ginger root and I just peel it and mince it, let it simmer in a pot of water, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes until it tastes really spicy. And then I pour it in a cup with some fresh lemon and some raw honey. It's super good for you, and I really do think it helps when you're sick. And I think the heat of the ginger or the heat of the tea kind of loosens everything up. I don't know. I'm just doing all I can right now to stay healthy. But yeah, so I guess where I left off last time is I was working on gift knits. I successfully knit my daughter's poncho. I actually finished it on Christmas Day. She has worn it the entire time she's been sick, and so I was like, there is no way I'm taking that thing onto the podcast. That thing needs to be washed. No, I am not. I'm not going near it. So I'll have to show you another time. But I have been knitting on socks. That's kind of, I guess, the easiest thing to do at this point. Mindless. I wanted to work on my circular sock machine, and so that's kind of what I worked on, and then I made a pair of socks from a sock tube as well. So my first finished object is this pair of socks. This was knit from a colorway I dyed 4 years ago. It's called Highs. I don't know if I have dyed it in recent years. It's a very unique colorway. I absolutely love it. I knit this almost completely on my circular sock machine, and so I was really proud of that. And I just have one on. I do have a pair, but I just put one on so you could see. Basically what I did is I cast on from here, came down, knit the heel on the machine, and it's basically like a short row heel. That's the equivalent of that. And then knit down, and the toe on a circular sock machine is the same as a heel. You actually do grafting stitches, or basically like a Kitchener, right here on the top of the toe. I was so proud of myself to be able to do these because they were so fast. I mean, incredibly fast. Now I did use, I picked up the stitches along here and did a 2x2 rib, and this was a mini that I had from a Hey Sister Yarn Co. set. So it's just a really deep black, works great on these. I will put details as far as how I figured, I guess like details as far as like the stitches and everything. I'll put it down below. I'll be honest, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I did write it down. My thoughts on this. First of all, I was super proud to be able to knit a sock completely on my sock machine. Well, except for the ribbing, almost completely. The 64 cylinder, the 64 stitch cylinder, which I use, is, I think it's just too big for my leg. My gauge right now is at about 8 stitches an inch and 11 rows per inch. I just really can't get it any tighter without having the stitches travel up the needles on the machine. I think the last time we talked, I wanted to do a gauge swatch on the sock machine, and I did. I messed around with the tension a whole lot and just kind of got it in its sweet spot. And its sweet spot is 8 stitches an inch, which is just too big for my feet and my leg. I'm a pretty petite person. I think if I was, I don't know, maybe if I was more average, or I really don't know. I don't know what to say. I will wear these and they're very comfortable, but they are too big. You can tell they're slipping on my sock blocker. But yeah, my next step on my sock machine is I want to do a mock rib, which is, I think it's taking out every 3rd needle and making a ribbed sock. We'll see. I know if I use the ribber, which I do have, if I use the ribber, it would fit marvelously. But that is a learning curve I'm not traveling up yet. So that's okay. But anyway, incredibly proud of these. I thought that the colorway turned out so fun. Just the pooling and everything, super, super fun. And I think, of course, I did write down the recipe for this colorway. I'm gonna have to dye some more up and knit a sample and see if it still turns out this way even 4 years later. But yeah, so this was really fun and I was very proud of the accomplishment. And then the next pair of socks I wanna show you was, I knit these actually before I knit the last pair. So these were the first socks I completely knit top to bottom on my sock machine. I actually just pulled these out of the wash, so they're a little wrinkled, but this is a pair of socks that I knit from the I guess the instruction manual. I have an Erlbacher Gearhart Speedster, and it comes with an instruction manual and kind of like a, lesson 1, lesson 2, step-by-step thing that you're supposed to do. And yeah, so this was the lesson 1. It is a hung hem sock with a short row heel. I messed up on the heel, you can see, with all these eyelets. What are you gonna do? Same with the toe. I have resolved it. It's not like that anymore. But this colorway is so special. This was my Advent 2019 colorway, and it was an exclusive, and it was an add-on if you purchased my Advent calendar this year. So these are so much fun. Of course, I have quite a bit left, since these are shorty socks, and I did not even weigh them, but I have tons left. So these just turned out so cute and fun. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, a hung hem is basically, it's just a folded over hem. You knit down, you kind of pick up all the stitches here and then start knitting. I'm trying to think what that is. can't remember what it's called in hand knitting. I know hats are like that a lot of times with the cuff being like a double strength. I don't know. Double strength, oh my gosh. Double layer, wow. I was up at 3:30 a.m. this morning with the baby, so I'm a little tired. I knit this next pair of socks. This was I believe this was a 64 stitch. This was made on my 64 stitch cylinder, and it was a sample for for a colorway, Christmas in the Sand. And I hand knit the cuff, heels, and toes. This was the Christmas in the Sand colorway, which I do think I still have. I do have some in stock. I have a couple in stock still, but I cannot get over how cute these are. I used my Colorway Princess as the contrast. I basically just have an entire cake in my knitting bag where I keep all of my sock supplies, and that is what I have been using for accents lately. But this colorway has so many beautiful nuances. I love how it doesn't pool. That was intentional, and I'm glad I made that choice. And yeah, I love these so much. And I was also really surprised. I mean, a lot of times I don't weigh my socks for myself. I just knit them however long I want them, and I always have leftovers. But I was really surprised with this size of sock, how long these are, with this being 50 grams. And so if you're familiar with my sock sets, I include in my sock sets a 50-gram main skein of yarn and then a 20-gram skein for accents like heels, toes, and cuffs. And if you have a smaller size foot, this is how long your socks are going to be if you use all of the yarn. I mean, that is a really, really tall sock. On me, it's definitely longer than I would ever knit it, but I loved being able to use one of the samples that I have for the shop, and I'm going to continue doing samples for all of my colorways. And so it's near instant gratification to just go and pull a sock tube out and add heels, toes, and cuffs and have a pair of socks in a couple of nights. Like, that's just amazing to me. But yeah, so this is a really fun pair, and I've really been enjoying those. And I have one more pair that I finished. I have so many socks. I told you I've been going crazy about socks. These are a little pair that I made for my daughter. I split a 50-gram sock tube in half, and it was knit on my 56 stitch cylinder. 50, not 56, 54? Yes. It's 54 stitches. And so I had a sock tube, I split it in half, and I made this little pair of socks. And I think these turned out super cute. This is probably about a size 11, a girl size 11. And they are they're just perfect. They're roomy and they fit really well. They're so comfy. She's been sick too. This is for my 6-year-old. She's been sick too, and so she has loved another pair of socks. But this is my Fortunately Pink colorway, and this was my shop sample, like I said, that I just cut in half. And I'm going to, I think I'm going to use the other half and make another pair of socks for my younger daughter, and so they have matching socks. But this is also my Colorway Princess, like I used in the Christmas in the Sand colorway. But that's pretty amazing that this pair of socks, not including the accents, but this pair of socks was made with 25 grams of yarn. That is not a lot. So it really is amazing what you can do with just a little bit of yarn. But I guess I should say basically with all of my socks except for the ones that were made on the sock machine. I did a 2x2 rib on all of them. I did true afterthought heels. I'll put the link below. There's a really wonderful video from Kirby Werby that explains exactly how to do it. It is very helpful. And then I just picked up and did, I guess it's a wedge toe. It just has a decrease on both sides every other round. Super simple. So those were fun, and I just adore this colorway too. This is has all these really just soft color nuances. Beautiful. So those are my finished objects. That's not too bad. I feel like I haven't had any knitting time in between taking care of people. Yeah, I will probably continue to do socks because I kind of took an assessment of exactly what I had for myself as far as knitting finished objects. Okay, I literally had, I think, 2 or 3 pairs of socks. I think I have 3 pairs of socks. I now only have 1 sweater for myself because I gave one of my daughters a sweater. And I have quite a few shawls, 10 or under, I would say. For as much as I knit, that's not a lot. It's really quite surprising. So yeah, I think 2020 might be the year of selfish knitting. Oh, who am I kidding? I will continue to knit for everybody else, but I do want to knit some more for myself because I, like with my beekeeper cardigan, I wear it almost every single day when it's super cold. It's a beautiful sweater and I absolutely love it. And yeah, so I did dye up some yarn, and maybe I'll show you later the colorway that I dyed up for myself because I did dye a new sweater quantity for myself. It's so exciting. I actually want to turn to an acquisition slash spinning. I haven't been spinning very much. I broke the leather ties that go to my treadles. I have a Kromsky minstrel, and the treadles are attached with leather ties, and I oil them. I try to keep them nice, but they break quite a bit. So that's just the way it is, I guess. So I need to repair it, and so honestly, it's not that big of a deal, but I just haven't done it. And so anyway, I want to show you I guess it would be the December installment of my Hedgehog Fiber Club. And so if you haven't seen it, go ahead and skip ahead. I'm sure you've received it and opened it by now. This was just so typical. I had this in the package. If you are familiar with Hedgehog Fibers, they are located in Ireland, which is just, you know, amazing. And anytime I receive a package from not the United States, it's just so exciting to me. And so when I receive their packages, it's just really exciting. And this time around, I waited to open it, and I really wanted to just, and I guess I do this with all of my acquisitions. I want to sit down and open it and really enjoy the moment and, you know, take my time and look at what I have purchased or have been gifted. So it was like this with the fiber. I wanted to sit down and look at it and just really enjoy it. And so I received it and kind of stashed it away. And a couple of days later, I found the package on the floor, completely tore open. The fiber was undamaged, but the surprise was totally spoiled. So anyway, it's super beautiful fiber. This is what I received this month, and is 125 grams, a combed top, 50% merino wool, 25% silk, and 25% flax, which is so, so cool. Yeah, I have not opened this, so I'm going to feel it. I'm going to actually take it out. Gosh, this is just, ooh, I really love this. So in true hedgehog fibers fashion, you can see all of the beautiful, beautiful colors in this fiber. It's soft, but not just like over the top soft, which I and it's not toothy by any means, but I like a little, I don't like super, super soft. That's not true. I do love soft, but I do love this. This is, it has just has a lot of texture to it. And it's not just the flax. I mean, the flax has just a really incredible earthy quality to it. But I mean, the color, this is just really, really fun. It's a beautiful aqua blue color. And then it has all these splashes of color all over it, which I really love. And I think it does look like the fiber itself was white or, you know, a natural color, and then they dyed it, over dyed it. You can see right there. So sometimes I have received fiber from them that is actually dyed and then combed and then kind of over dyed, which is really cool. But this is so fun. If you're a spinner and you have received this, I would love to know how you prepped the fiber. This is very reminiscent of a Paradise Fibers box that I received. I don't know if y'all remember. That was several months ago in maybe September. I'm not exactly sure, but it had black flax in it, which was just outstanding. I mean, it was just a beautiful fiber. And what did I do with that? Did I make rollags out of it? Now I can't even remember. I think someone recommended on this podcast, maybe someone left a comment that I should have core spun it, which would be very interesting. So anyway, if you have any advice, let me know. And I need to just get on my spinning wheel and fix it because it's absolutely ridiculous that I haven't spun yet. But anyway, yay, that was fun. That was kind of like a little unboxing with you guys. I really love that fiber club. It's never disappoints. It's always interesting. Very fun to spin. So yay, that's exciting. I wanted to show you one more thing. This was a super, super sweet little gift that one of the viewers of my podcast sent to me, and her name is Eden. Hi, Eden, if you're watching. She is such a beautiful crafter, and I want to go ahead and show you her card. She has a shop where she makes beautiful polymer clay stitch markers and progress keepers, and she sent me the cutest little pineapple. How adorable is this? I mean, this is just the cutest little thing I've ever seen. And it has glitter on it. What? I don't even know how a person makes these things because obviously it's not my forte. But I've been having so much fun with this little progress keeper, and I wanted to share that with you because that was so sweet of her to send it. Thank you, Eden. I love it so much. And I would encourage you to go visit her shop. I'll put details below and see all the adorable little things that she is making. I wanted to mention really quickly that all of the clubs for January have been sent out. And I just want to give a huge thank you to all of you who have supported my clubs in the past few months. I have enjoyed making those so much for you and creating the mood boards. February's will be going up in the next few days, and I will talk about them next week on the podcast. But I couldn't be more happy with how they've turned out this month, and I hope you love them too. They are so beautiful and just a really cheerful, fresh way to start off the new year. So I will be having a shop update this Friday, January 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time at pineappleyarn.com. From here on out, they will be regular schedule every other week, every other Friday at 8 p.m. So you can look forward to that. You can also sign up for a preview of what is to come and on my website, pineappleyarn.com. And I will be sending out a bi-weekly newsletter with all kinds of information, mostly just a preview of my shop update and kind of what's been going on here in the studio, maybe things to look forward to. So it's a brief read and it's just every other week. The first colorway that I'm going to be restocking, it's a restock. I'm not sure, I don't actually know if I have any in stock right now, but it is Little Paper Umbrellas, which is a super fun, cheerful colorway. Yellows, very pale, pink, and mint. It has some multicolored, delicate speckles throughout. I will have this, I'll have all of these on multiple bases. So I am showing you here, this is my Lani base, and then also my gold Nani twist base, which is sparkle. And I think these are really beautiful. Of course, I especially love the speckle because, or not the speckle, the sparkle. I wish you could see this in real life because it's very, very sparkly. I will also have a colorway that I haven't dyed in a while, and it is called Sunspot. It is a very, very bright yellow. It's a combination of several yellows. Very saturated, but light and bright at the same time. It has some earthy speckles. As you can tell, this is just so bright, it's getting blown out. But it does have some orange speckles, some earthy speckles, a couple of different tones of yellow. I love this colorway so much. I mean, I think it would be beautiful in a fade. I always think of this when I see this colorway. I also think it would be, I just would love this in socks. Maybe that's what I'll make next time. A pair of socks from these. You will see in the coming months, you will start to see a lot of restocks and with multiple skeins going into the shop. My whole goal is to have everything in stock at once. So once a colorway sells out, I hope to just put it back on the list and dye it up and have it in stock. I think for me personally, I love going to a shop if I hear of a new dyer or maker. I love going to their shop and just being able to, outside of a shop update and being able to browse when there's things in stock. And it's always a little disappointing. And I get it because I'm a small maker as well, but it is really disappointing going to a shop that has nothing in stock. And so one of my goals for 2020 is to, when I dye yarn, I am dyeing a lot of one colorway at once. And so gradually I will have samples in all the pictures. And then I will also have I don't know if I'll have all the bases in stock, but I will have yarn in stock. And that is my goal. So that might take a while, but I'm going to do it. This is Electric Beach. This has been around for a while too. I love, love this colorway. This is a great contrast of colors. This is actually named after a beach in Hawaii called Electric Beach, believe it or not. So that is them. Of course, I love this on Sparkle. I think it is beautiful. And then I have a colorway, I may have only dyed this for a sock set one time, I can't really remember, but this is called Crushing It, and it is so, so fun. It's actually on a kind of an aqua light blue base, and then it has layers put on top, speckles put on top, and so there's a lot going on here, but I think it's such a fun colorway. A lot of speckles, a lot of nuances. I did make samples for all the batches of yarn. And so these will be in my photos in the newsletter and in the shop listings. I can't wait to see how this one turns out. It is so beautiful. This is really fun. Now this colorway was one, I think I released this one, this was like a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, because it's called Bananas Over You. It was supposed to be kind of a play on words for Valentine's Day. And I love this. I think this is so pretty. This was, I think this was only a sock set that I've dyed before. I don't think I've had this on full skeins, but this is very, very bright. I don't know if the camera is picking up how bright this is. It has so many different tones and speckles and neons here. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it's not for the faint of heart by any means. This was another one. I don't think I ever dyed this up, so I cannot, or dyed it up. I don't think I ever knit this up, and so I cannot wait to dye, or to knit up the sample for this. I do have an end of the day colorway, which you can tell, I had a lot of greens left over. This is a really, really fun, I don't know, it kind of looks like jungle. To me, it looks very jungly. I don't know why. I think because it has so many different tones of green, but then it has pops of pink and purple and lighter tones. It's just, this is just a really fun one. I cannot wait to knit the sample up for this. This is super fun. And then I have a restock of Palm Springs, which is this colorway. This is so fun. It's like all my favorite colors in one. I think all the colors are my favorite, but that's okay. This is basically just a bare yarn, and then it has lots of different greens and pinks, pink speckles. So this is going to be really fun as well to knit up the sample for the shop. You can see this is sparkle. Great. I think this would be so pretty as a like a birds of a feather shawl, but do like a coordinating mohair in the middle. Like, let's see, if you did like this one in the middle, that'd be so pretty. This is Princess. This is going into the shop as well. Yeah, wouldn't that be pretty? So awesome. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and show you the tonals. I am restocking Princess. This is what I have, a full 100 gram skein in my sock knitting bag right now. This is what I've been using for all of my accents because I'm just really into this color right now. So this is really fun. I will have, I don't even know what I dyed up. Definitely the mohair silk, the Noe base. I will have it on my Lonnie fingering base. I think I have, in the shop right now, I do have several other bases. I have my sparkle base, which is great. I can't tell, I'm looking at my yarn rack over here, I can't really tell. So that'll be a restock of Princess. I also have a restock of Bubblegum. I am putting in the Noe mohair silk as well as my Gold Nani twist base. This is sparkle, and I think this, I'm not even going to show you on camera because I know it won't pick it up, but this is my Gold Nani twist base. It is a 2-ply fingering weight base with gold stellina. So on a tone like this pink and you have the gold stellina, it just is stunning. It's so beautiful. And I love having the gold stellina in my yarn. Love it, love it. So this is Bubblegum. I am doing a restock of Pale Peach. This This is a beautiful, beautiful peach. I love this. I don't know why I'm whispering. I think because it's such a subtle color. I don't dye pale colors that often, so, but I love this warm peach so much. It's flattering on so many different skin tones. It's perfect for baby knits. It's just, it coordinates so well with different colorways. I mean, even in some of these like bright colorways, this will look really, really good with it. It just picks up on some of these warm tones, and it looks really good. So this is Pale Peach. I'm also going to be restocking Bright Mint. I don't know what to say about this. Of course I love it. It's glowing. I have some in the shop right now on, I believe, my Gold Nani Twist Base and my Noe Mohair Silk. It is a little paler than this, so I will be stocking those as different lots, but this is gorgeous. Like, I think I need something from this, for sure. That is so pretty. So the last tonal I want to show you, this is a new color. I was contacted by a viewer and a friend on Instagram, and she was saying that, you know, basically I love hearing what you guys want and maybe things that you can't find or things you're interested in. And she had said that she loves deep greens with neons and she likes to do brioche with them, but she has a hard time finding deep greens. Who knew? It's true though. I went and looked at some different shops, and it is really hard finding small hand dyers that dye deep green. I have no idea. This is a really, I mean, it's definitely not like a black green. It's not the deepest green, but I love this green so much. I'm calling this Cook Pine. In Hawaii, there is, in the landscape, there's this really beautiful tree called a Cook Pine, and it's such a contrast to the palms you see and, you know, different kind of like lush vegetation. In contrast, it's just such a contrast in texture and color. So I think I'm going to call this Cook Pine. I think it's so beautiful, and I'm going to show you paired with some of these colorways like this. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Isn't this gorgeous? I mean, spot on about the deep green going with the neons. I mean, really and truly, this is so beautiful. I'm going to show you with the Princess how beautiful it is. Wow. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, this is really, really pretty together. So this is the new tonal Cook Pine, and this is the color that I actually dyed a sweater quantity of. I kind of wish I would have dyed a sweater quantity like before Christmas. It would have made a great Christmas sweater, but let's be honest, I was in no condition to knit a sweater before Christmas. So I will be knitting a sweater. I may be adding neon color work because I really, really like the neons with it. But either way, I need a new sweater, and I love this color. So that is that. That is what I have been working on this week. Yeah, that's what will be included in the shop update. I do have 3 packages of my medley of minis left. It is the one-of-a-kind mini skein sets, and they're only $25 a piece, which is just crazy. And you get anywhere between like 175 to 200 grams total in each package, and it's such a great deal. So if you're interested, those are still available. I still have a few candles left. I will be pouring some more candles hopefully next week, and yeah, so that is what's going on in the studio. Thank you so much for tuning in again this week. It was really nice chatting with you. If you like the podcast, I'd so appreciate if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And until next time, I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.